The second part of factoring is lesson 4.4, when the a value isn't 1. What I'd like you to do right now is list or write out these 5 steps in your note packet and then press play. That way, when I explain them, you can sit and listen to them and not have to write them down. So again, pause the video, write these steps out, and then press play. All right. If you have a common factor in your quadratic function in standard form, that's always the first step. We want to see if that's possible to factor out. If you have an a left over, we're not going to follow the same rules that we did in 4.3. The first thing that you want to do is multiply a times c. And that's going to now be the number that you try to find your two numbers that multiply, please add that in, I forgot that wasn't there, to equal that product AC, and then add to get the b value in the middle. So that's similar to what we did in 4.3. Once you find those two numbers, I'll show you how to actually split the bx term, and now instead of 3 terms, you're going to have 4 total terms in your expression. And I'll show you what that looks like. We'll group the first 2 terms in a parenthesis and then the last 2 terms. Looking at them individually, now we should hopefully be able to get a common factor, even if we didn't get one or did get one up at the very top. Our goal is to find a set of parentheses that match. I know that sounds kind of complicated, so let's look at a couple of examples to see if we can put this to the test. It says to factor each expression. In example A, we have 7x squared minus 20x minus 3. If we look at all 3 of those coefficients, the a, the b, and the c, there isn't a common factor. And we have that a value out in front, so it's not going to work to try to split the c value to get the b value. We first need to take that a and the c, and I'm going to connect them, and we're going to multiply them together. 7 times negative 3 would be negative 21. That's my AC product. Now, numbers that go into 21 are 1 and 21, and 7 and 3, the ones that we just did. Which pair could we add in some way to get negative 20 and multiply to get negative 21? The goal would be to figure out, let's see, what do we have? I think if we do negative 21 and positive 1, we would get negative 20 when we add, and we would get negative 21 when we multiply. Once you know that pair, the next step is to break down that bx term in the middle. So the bx term, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the 1 and the negative 21. I'm going to put the negative first, so I'm going to write negative 21x plus 1x. So that's splitting that bx term. I took negative 20x and I split it into negative 21 plus 1. The rest of the terms just drop straight down. So I'm going to keep my 7x squared first, and I'll keep the minus 3 last. And that's known as splitting the bx term. From here, we put parentheses around the first 2 terms. So there and there. And then we put a parenthesis around the second 2 terms, including the plus. In that first parenthesis, we look for a common factor. We have 7x squared and 21x. We could take 7 out of 7 and 21, and we could take an x out of x squared and x. My common factor is going to be 7 and x. If I take 7x out of just those 2 terms, 7x out of 7x squared, we'd still have an x left over. And if I take 7x out of 21x, the x goes away, 7 goes into 21, there'd be a 3 left over. And that's what you do for that first part, and then we do it again for the second part. If we have 1x minus 3, technically there isn't really anything specific to take out, but we need a placeholder. So if nothing comes out other than 1, we literally just write a 1 in its place. And what that does is really just keeps everything the same inside the parenthesis. We still have our 1x minus 3. In that last step on the left, it says your goal is to have a matching parenthesis. And look at this, we do 7x minus 3 and 7x minus 3. That indicates that that's one of the factors in our final answer. So how do we get the other one, you may ask? We take the numbers that are on the outside and we add them together. 7x plus 1, they're not like terms, so it's literally just 7x plus 1. And that is your factored answer. You could always multiply them together to double check, and you'd get the original function in standard form. So let's go ahead and try another one. Here we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 12. Notice the coefficients do not have any common factors, so we have to go right to that a times c process. A times c, 3 times negative 12 is negative 36. So we now have to think of numbers that go into 36 that also add to get positive 5. So just start with the basics. 1 times 36, we'd have 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9. Ooh, I think we can get it with 4 and 9. If we want negative 36 when we multiply and positive 5 when we add, now the 4 has to be negative and the 9 would be positive. That should be the pair that works for us here. So let's go ahead and split that bx term into minus 4x plus 9x. I'm going to keep everything else the same. I'll drop down the 3x squared, and I'll drop down the minus 12. From there, we put a parenthesis around the first two terms and a parenthesis around the second two terms, like so. In that first term, we have 3x squared minus 4x. Nothing comes out of 3 and 4. However, we could take out an x from both of those terms. And doing so, we would end up with 3x minus 4 on the inside. In that second parenthesis, 9x minus 12, they both have a 3 in common. That would be the common factor. And then 3 goes into 9x. We'd have 3x left over. Minus 3 goes into 12 4 times. So again, our goal is to get that matching parenthesis. We have that. That means that's our first answer, or one of our two answers, because technically you can write them in either order. Take those parts on the outside, the x and the 3. Now remember, we're adding them together, and a variable and a constant are never like terms. That means our second factor will be x plus 3, just like that. All right, one more in this row. Here we have 8x squared plus 38x minus 10. I notice in this one, we do have a common factor. There's a number that we could take out of 8, 38, and 10, and that factor would be a 2. If we take 2 out of all three terms, we would get 4x squared plus 19x minus 5. So that 2 is going to stay out in front for our final answer, but we still now need to multiply a times c for the inside. Pause the video and see how far you can get on this. I just want to see if you can try it. When you feel you've gotten as far as you can possibly go, press play and we'll see how it went. All right, did you end up with one of your factors being 4x minus 1 and the other being x plus 5? If not, let's take a look quickly up above at the process. Multiply a times c and I got negative 20. Right away, my first pair, 1 and 20, I figured out could get 19 in the middle if I made 1 negative and 19 positive. Or excuse me, 20 positive. Wow, sorry. So I split the bx term into negative 1x plus 20x. In that first parenthesis, I noticed they both just had an x in common. If I factor x out, we get 4x minus 1. And in that second parenthesis, 5 goes into both 20 and 5, so I factored that out and got 4x minus 1 again. When those parentheses match, that's one of your factors. Take the two parts on the outside, and that's your other factor. Now, what I saved for last is to make sure you take that 2 that was out in front at the very beginning and put that out in front in your final answer. That's part of that factored solution. When the directions say solve instead of just factor, we're going to follow the same rules we did yesterday for 4.3. We're still going to factor and then apply the zero product property. The first thing we want to do is set the equation equal to 0. I'm simply going to substitute 0 on that left-hand side. We have 5x squared minus 27x minus 18. From here, check to see if you have a common factor. And unfortunately, we do not. 5, 27, and 18, nothing in common. All right, so that means we have to take a times c. Yikes, 5 times negative 18. That's negative 90. There are lots of factors of 90, so let's see what we can do. 1 times 90, that won't get us 27 in the middle. 2 and 45? Yeah, that's not close. But check this out, everybody. 3 and 30. 3 times 30 could get us negative 90 if one of them was negative, and it could get us negative 27x in the middle if the 30 is negative. So that didn't take us too long to come up with the pair that's going to work. Now remember, we use that to split the bx term in the middle. If one's positive and one's negative, I'm going to go ahead and make the first term negative, minus 30x plus 3x. And then drop everything else down, 5x squared minus 18. And remember, it still equals 0. Now we group the first two and group the second two and look for those common factors. In that first parenthesis, we have 5x squared minus 30x. We could factor out a 5 and an x from both of those terms. If we factor 5x out of 5x squared, we have x left over. And 5x out of 30x, 5 goes into 30 6 times, we have a 6 left over. In the second parenthesis, 3x minus 18, we could take the 3 out, and we would have x, get this, minus 6. Excellent. The parentheses match, so that's one of our factors. And then remember, we just take those parts on the outside, the 5x, and the positive 3, and that's our other factor. Now, by definition, this is still an equation that equals 0 on the left. Once it's factored, we just split it up like we did in 4.3. X minus 6 equals 0. Well, we would simply add 6 to solve. That would be pretty easy. There's one answer right away. Now, that 5x plus 3, we just have to do a little algebra here. Move the 3 over and divide by 5. This gives us just a fraction answer for one of our two solutions. And there's solving when we have to do the A times C method to factor. I truly saved the best one for last. Look at these crazy big numbers. 13x squared plus 21x equals negative 5x squared plus 22. Remember, by definition, we have to set the equation equal to 0 before we can even try to start factoring. I'm going to take the terms on the right and move them over to the left. To move negative 5x squared over, I'm going to have to add that. And I'm going to put that right underneath its like term, the 13. Positive 22 on the right, I'd have to subtract that to move it over. Doesn't really matter where I put that. That doesn't combine with anything on the left-hand side. But the x squareds, 13x squared and 5x squared, would be 18. That's aggressive. The 21x doesn't have any like terms. And then minus 22. Oh boy, look at those big numbers. And the bummer is there isn't even a common factor. All right, let's just go for it. If we take 18 times negative 22, that's very calculator friendly, we would get negative 396. What? There are so many factors of negative 396. I'm going to save us a couple minutes here and just tell us that the factors are, get this, 33 and 12. I know, it would have taken a while to get there, but we would have figured it out. Now, we want negative 396 when we multiply and positive 21 when we add. That means the 33 needs to be positive and the 12 needs to be negative. Let's go ahead and split that 21x into negative 12x, plus 33x. I always like to put, if there's a negative one, put that first in the first parenthesis. Drop down the other two terms. So we'll have 18x squared first, and then minus 22 second. Still equals 0. Parenthesis around the first two, parenthesis around the second two. Now for 18x minus 12x, I notice they have a 6 and an x in common, and that would give us 3x minus 2 in the parenthesis. For 33x minus 22, check this out. They have 11 in common. If we take 11 out of 33x, we get 3x. Minus 11 out of 22, guess what? We get 2. So at least our parentheses match. That's a good thing. That's one of our two factors. Then take the other numbers out in front, the 6x and the 11, and that creates our second factor. Remember, this still equals 0. Once we've factored, we set the parentheses each equal to 0 separately, and then we solve. For that first one, if you add 2 and divide by 3, we get x equals 2/3. So one of our x-intercepts would be a fraction. And if we subtract 11 and divide by 6, our other answer is also a fraction. Whew, this definitely changes things from 4.3 yesterday. Here is your lesson for the second part of factoring 4.4.